Next, I'd like to talk to you about understanding ad groups. Essentially, AdWords gives you the ability to create a campaign and then underneath that campaign have multiple ad groups. What this means is I have a campaign that's focused on my dog training guide that I'm selling, but I do not need to have all my keywords in one group. In fact, it makes a lot of sense to break them up into different groups. So let me show you what this means. If we look here at my campaign number 1, of course you can change that to be called whatever you want. I have an ad group here. Ideally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an ad group for every keyword topic that I have. So in other words, if I'm going to focus on, one could be the keywords where I focus specifically on dogs that are barking. So, stop barking dogs, things like that. That could be ad group 1. Ad group 2 could be focus on, the buy keyword phrase, buy dog training guide, buy dog equipment, things like that. Ad group 3 could focus on, help with aggressive dogs, aggressive dog help, aggressive dog guide, things like that. So the approach to take is to look at every keyword phrase. Let me show you. When I created my first ad group here, of course, I threw everything together just to show you, but realistically, I would not do it like this. Of course, the first thing I would do is delete this keyword here because it is way too broad and dangerous. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. But I would have a keyword, an ad group on buy dog training. Let me go ahead and actually create that and show you what that's going to look like. So I'm going to go up here, back to campaign 1, create a new ad group. And again, the keyword phrase I'm going to focus on is going to be buy dog training. So I'm going to go ahead and call it that. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep the same ad. Ideally, you'll also critique that ad and kind of make it match specifically the ad group that you're creating. And I'm going to go ahead and enter my keywords. Buy dog training guide. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the keyword match types, like this. And also like this. I think that's a powerful phrase. It's not going to be searched for a lot, but I think that the people that do search for it are going to be serious about buying my guide, which is good news for me. I'm also going to go ahead and focus on buy dog training. And I'll add the 3 types there. And I'm also going to brainstorm and think about additional, forms of this where people are looking to maybe something like purchase dog training. Now maybe I would want to have that phrase be its own ad group. Some people kind of get crazy with how they separate ad groups. I'm not going to go super crazy here. I'm just, showing you here. But the idea is to have all these keywords that are tightly related under the same ad group. I'm not going to have dog collar there because that would not be relevant. And Google's going to look at this and they're actually going to reward the fact that I have things so tight here. And also, also point out that these keyword phrases should give me a higher conversion. So I'm going to go ahead and be willing to spend more on them. And let's look at our traffic here. You can see that not enough data to give estimates because you know what? Not a lot of people are going to be typing these in, but that's okay because again, when somebody does type it in, it's going to be very targeted. So you might be saying to yourself, if I just bid on this, it stinks because I'm not going to get a lot of traffic. Well, what you want to do is do a lot of phrases like this, and overall they do add up. So that's an example of an ad group. And then I'm going to go back and create another ad group. So again, ideally, the first ad group that I created was not done well at all. It was just to illustrate, the different keywords and whatnot. What I would do is go back and break things out into multiple ad groups, each one focusing on a different keyword topic. A final word then about the ad groups. Also, a huge advantage to doing this is that you're going to have different, phrases that you're targeting, and some of them are going to work out really well, and they're going to give you high conversions and lots of clicks, and that's going to be great because it's going to mean that Google's going to start to reward the ads in that category. What would stink would be if I had phrases in that ad group that were unrelated and were getting poor clicks, which would mean that you're going to have ad groups that will do well, and you'll have ones that do poorly. And when one does well, it will really benefit that because it won't have ones that are doing poorly pulling it down. So keep that in mind, and you separate things out, and then the ad groups that perform poorly you can eliminate or change, and the ones that do well are going to reward you by having more clicks, and also you'll pay less per click and see your ad rise.